Who knew the Romans reckoned that munching on a gladiator's liver was the ancient equivalent of a green smoothie for all your health needs, including a cure for epilepsy? Chew on that. If you get your kicks from the gritty glamour of Roman gladiator battles, hold on to your togas, because we're about to dive into the shadowy underworld that lurked beneath the blood-splattered sand of the Colosseum. Gladiator fights, believe it or not, weren't always the crowd-pleasing spectacle they later became. They kicked off as a morbid way to mark the passing of some bigwig, with two brave brawlers going toe-to-toe until one was left standing, and the other, well, wasn't. The guy who swung the killing blow was thought to channel Hermes, the divine deliverer of final goodbyes, sparing the fallen warrior further misery. As Rome grew and glowed, these solemn send-offs transformed into the kind of brutal blockbusters that had the masses shouting for more. Ever wondered how these death matches morphed into Rome's most watched reality TV? Here's the scoop. Rome, influenced by the Etruscan penchant for a good dust-up, evolved these fights into public affairs. As politics got more cutthroat and the empire expanded, the bigwigs knew they needed to keep the commoners happy. What better way than arranging a fight night with swords and shields? These games also served as a handy distraction from the daily grind and grumbles, as the Romans forgot about their woes in the thrill of the chase. Before long, gladiatorial games became the stage for political posturing and bragging rights. Picture this. A buzzing arena, packed out with rabid fans. In one corner, a behemoth. Think Hulk meets Hercules. In another, a whip-it-quick wisp of a fighter, nimble and nasty, keen to take on the world. The arena's charged with the anticipation of the coming clash of titans. Gladiators prepped to rewrite history with their sweat and steel. Gladiators were the Kardashians of their day. They were the celebrity stars, but unlike the Kardashians, they drew screams and swoons with their swords and their deadly dance of death. They mixed muscle and finesse, captivating crowds with their lethal artistry. Despite the blood and guts, there was a bizarre camaraderie in the arena. After all, nothing says bromance quite like a near-death experience, right? So, who were these gladiators, and where did they come from? How did they become the embodiment of raw power and Roman swag? Let's spill the beans. Gladiators hailed from all walks of life and had their reasons for stepping into the sandy ring. Rome was having a bit of a slavery crisis back in the day, with some owners seeing their slaves as a potential source of entertainment. Deadly entertainment. Prisoners of war didn't have it any better. Instead of life imprisonment or slavery, these poor sods were thrown into the ring for a bit of fun and frolics, for the audience that is, and local crooks weren't let off the hook either. They were thrown into this lethal lottery as a form of public spanking. Of course, there were those who willingly signed up for a slice of the gladiator pie, seeking the glitz and glamour of the blood-soaked big time. These folks traded in the daily grind for the chance of fame and fortune in the ring. But how did these warriors train for the ultimate showdown? If you think Rocky had it tough, you ain't seen nothing yet. Gladiators had two options, shape up or ship out. Permanently. They honed their bodies to become killing machines, lifting, sprinting, sword fighting, all in a day's work. Anyone else getting flashbacks of District 2? But they weren't just meatheads. These fighters learned to master their fear, stay cool under pressure, and face the Grim Reaper with a grin. Then there were the adrenaline junkies who loved the thrill of the kill, like Flamma, the Syrian warrior who couldn't get enough of the arena. His passion for the fight and insatiable thirst for fame made him a standout star of the gladiatorial world. But all that glitters is not gold. Life for a gladiator was no picnic. They were at the mercy of their owners, living under the constant shadow of death. Behind the scenes, the gladiator games were rife with corruption, greed, and a stunning lack of regard for human life. The revolt led by Spartacus, a gladiator-turned-rebel leader, highlighted the brutality and injustice of these games. Although the uprising ended in disaster, it left an indelible mark on the history of the gladiator games. Then there were those, like Emperor Commodus, who twisted the games for their own twisted fun. He wasn't just a spectator, he was a participant who relished every blood-soaked moment, further darkening the shadow cast by the games. Back to the cannibalism caper. The Romans thought gladiator blood was the elixir of youth and vigor, while the liver was seen as an epilepsy fixer-upper. There's not a lot of evidence to back this up, but it does add another twist to the gladiator tale. Gladiators like Spartacus or Commodus etched their names into history, captivating and horrifying in equal measure. Their stories are a stark reminder of the complicated nature of the games, a brutal mix of courage, bloodlust, and the pursuit of glory. Subscribe to our channel for more fun factory facts.